Hey, how you guys doing today? Well, as the title says, I'm going to be talking today about a documentary that I watched last night. Yesterday was Sunday, and that's the day that I take off. I take off once a week. That's the day I take off once a week. I try to just go to church and take a day to worship and just reflect and just recharge myself because I know that the next week is going to be, busy because every week's busy. With God, it's always busy. Um, always got something to do, always got some task to do, some assignment to do, some calling to do, and it just never ends. So I know I'm going to need to be rested up to be able to do it. So, yesterday is Sunday, so on Sundays, the NFL plays football games, and typically, I'm a big Ravens fan. I root for the Ravens, and but they played on Thursday, so I didn't really have a team to really watch on Sunday. Other than maybe the Steelers because I wanted to see them lose, right? But they didn't lose because they should change the name of the NFL to the NFFL. So instead of the National Football League, it should be the National Fixed Football League, because the games are all within like one score of each other because they never want the you know, numbers to be skewed too far one way or the other. So Vegas always wins and covers the spread and, all that stuff. Stuff I don't even understand how gambling works. I don't want to understand how gambling works because it's nothing but, devil stuff anyway that I don't need to be involved with. And it's not something Jesus would have done. So it's not something I want to do. But I do have fun watching the Ravens. It's disheartening to see, some of these teams get away with some of these penalties and some of these calls that the referees make towards the end of the game that changes the whole game. I mean, it's like, how is that fun? I guess they figure because by the time the fourth quarter comes around, you're probably so drunk anyway that you're not really paying as much attention, and they can get one over on you. But to the people who actually don't drink and that are sober and that are watching this, I mean, I don't understand how you can't see that it's fixed because it is. There's no doubt in my mind that it's fixed. And I love the Ravens. I hope they go all the way. But I'm telling you, I feel like the NFL's fixed, especially this year. So, anyway, enough on that. So, it was getting to be nighttime yesterday. We had a nice, spaghetti dinner my wife made. She makes the best spaghetti dinner with this meat sauce and everything. And so we had a nice spaghetti dinner, and we, kind of started to wind down. And my wife and my daughter wanted to, binge watch this series on Netflix or something like that. And I can't remember what the show's called, but it's one of them shows that's popular that everybody watches. So I said, all right, well, I'll go upstairs and, just, watch football or whatever upstairs. So I go upstairs, I turn on the TV, and I say, I don't really feel like watching football tonight. I just like, it's just something I did when I was like in my deep, dark depression. I would just watch sports and just let it numb me and then just fall asleep, watching sports. And I'm like, there's got to be something better to watch. And somebody had posted on one of my prayer warrior groups that I'm on Facebook or something like that. Warriors in Jesus or something like that. And what happened was they said, give me a good movie to watch or good, something to watch, good flick. So I said the movie Pay It Forward, which if you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend watching that movie. It's a good movie about doing the right thing and paying it forward, to the next person. So like if somebody does something good for you, then you should do something good for the next person. That's pretty much the gist of it. But there's a lot of good stuff in the movie. So I'm not going to go over that here because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But another thing that's so frustrating is you got these services like Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, and it's supposed to replace cable television, and it's like you get on there and you search for a movie and you find the movie, but then they want you to buy it or they want you to rent it. And it's like, what? Like, I pay you a $15 a month subscription or $10 a month subscription or whatever the fee is that I don't even know because my wife just puts it on her credit card. So, whatever the fee is for that. And, the next thing you know, I'm looking for something to watch on there and I find it and then they try to charge me more money. It's like how infuriating is that? You know? So I'm like, all right, I'm not paying for nothing because I already pay for enough. And I haven't had a check come in a while. Well, I did. I had one come in end of October. God blessed me with that settlement. So that was supposed to be end of November, but it got moved up. So we got some money came in a little ahead of time. I was able to take care of some other bills and stuff. So, but I'm trying to watch it. I'm not trying to blow money on stuff that's not needed. Things that aren't necessary. For whatever event or whatever is going on. So, so I'm looking on Amazon. I'm like, let me find something. Let me find something. So it comes up with these suggestions. It says, your movie costs money, but here's some suggestions. So, of course, I start clicking on suggestions, and then it says rent or buy. So I got to rent or buy these now, too. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Forget this. I'm just going to click on movies free to me. So I click on movies free to me, and I'm scrolling through and I'm scrolling through and I'm scrolling through and I'm scrolling through, and I find this. I thought it was a movie, but turned out to be a documentary called "The One Who Hears a Call to Obedience." So it's the one who hears colon a call to obedience. And I said, this looks interesting. Sounds like it's kind of spiritual in nature. And seems like God just kind of put something right in front of me and said, watch this tonight, Michael. So I said, all right, I'll take a look. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. So I'm literally like 3 minutes in. I don't know why I'm yawning again. Probably because I stayed up watching this documentary. But so I was like 3 minutes into it, and I'm like, this is awesome. So I immediately like posted on Facebook, if you got nothing to watch tonight, go to Amazon Prime, whatever, click on this, watch this show. And I have a bunch of buddies that I'm friends with in my Bible groups and my recovery groups and stuff, and we got like these big long group texts. So I'm sending it out, sending it out to like 16 people, then 17 people, then 20 some people, and then I went through some individuals that I know, and I'm like, everybody's got to watch this, everybody's got to watch this, and then I did my post on Facebook, and and then I came in today, and I was just messing around trying to find if the documentary was like had anything online, and it popped up on YouTube. So I'm like, awesome, it's on YouTube. So now people that didn't have Amazon Prime can still watch it on YouTube. So I went through and I texted everybody on the same groups, and I was like, just so you know, it's on YouTube too. Just so you know, it's on YouTube too. So you can watch it. And but I'm gonna tell you, the whole documentary was a very, very well done piece. It was definitely low budget, which is good, and but it was very, very well done with, how we as Christians are called to live our lives like Christians, and how Jesus would live his life, and what we're expected to do, to grow the word, and grow the gospel, and to spread the love of the word to everyone on earth. And it just, I mean, this documentary got me thinking like about a lot of stuff, like thinking about even the way churches are run today. Like they're not encouraging people to go out there to minister to people and to evangelize to people and to bring people to the Lord, because I feel like every church, like, they all are fighting with each other, and they all want it for them. Like, they want to get credit. It's like they want the stat. They want all the people coming to their place and forget about the guy down the street. But that's not how it needs to be, because God doesn't care about your church. And as a matter of fact, you don't even need to go to church to be saved. You don't even need to go to church to be a believer and to, be a evangelizer and to be a minister and to be a disciple of Christ. You don't have to go to church for that. Church is something you want to do because it makes you feel good, and you should pick a church that you feel comfortable with and that you feel good about going to. But that shouldn't be your end all be all. Your 1 hour or your 2 hour a week that you spend somewhere shouldn't be it. That shouldn't be it. That should be like a very small part of what you're doing as a Christian. And this documentary shows a guy that said, you know what, I'm going to take 31 days and I'm just going to dedicate every single day to Jesus, and I'm going to see what happens. And he met some incredible people. He met some people that didn't even speak English. He gave Bibles to everybody. He brought food to people that needed it. He brought groceries to people that needed it. He brought, he just spent his own money and did stuff for people and helped them out, And there was people that didn't want anything to do with him, and he was like, all right, cool, whatever, that's cool. And that's how some people are. Some people don't want nothing to do with it. And you can't force people to want something to do with it. But, these churches and all, like, they better wake up, because, the way to do this today is to spread the word and spread the love. This should be your mission. Your mission should be to grow as many believers and as many followers as we possibly can. Whether they go to my church or the church down the street or the church on the other side of town, it doesn't matter who they go to church with. It doesn't matter how much money we have coming in donations and all that. That's secondary. You should always be focused on trying to grow and get more believers and get more people who are interested, and nurture them and cultivate them, and pour into them, pour your knowledge and your wisdom into them and program them. Let's use that word. That's a word the media uses. They program us all frickin' week long, man. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then hopefully you're like me and you don't let them program you on Sundays, because Sunday's your day to recharge and relax and unwind and unplug a little bit and pick up your Bible and go to church and spend time with the Lord and spend time in the Word, learning the Word, following the Word, and speaking the Word, and just loving it, and feeling good about it. That's what you should be doing, and getting deprogrammed, from what the media does. You can either get deprogrammed and reprogrammed, at the same time. Needs to take all the distractions away and then program your mind. That's why you got to find a good church to go to, a church that speaks from the Bible, a church that uses scripture in their messages that they deliver. Not all churches are the same. They're not, and there's no one church that's better than another church. So if you're a Catholic, great. If you're a Christian, great. If you're something else in another denomination, Great. But we all have the common belief of Jesus and God, and we have him in our hearts, and we have him in our minds, and we have him on the top of our tongues, and we have him every single day. You know? What did you do today that was like something Jesus did? Anything? You know, that's the type of stuff you need to ask yourself. That's the type of stuff that this documentary gets you to think about. Is like, wow, man, like this guy did this and it completely changed his life, and it completely changed the way he thinks now. And, you know, he's probably going to wind up maybe even changing careers or something from what he was doing. And I don't know what he was doing because I don't think he ever said it. But, you know, I mean, it's like the experiences he had and staying in touch with these people and knowing that he made a difference in somebody's life. You know, this is what God wants us to do. This is what we're called to do. This is why I do what I do. This is why I have this podcast. Is to spread the word. It's to get the word out. It's to spread it to Christians. It's to spread it to non-Christians. It's to spread it to non-believers. It's to spread it to Hindus. It's to spread it to everybody. Everybody. You know? Because if you don't believe now, that's okay. Just do your research. Read the book. Read the Bible. Read the Bible, you know? This literally is sitting on my desk opened because in one of my Bible studies that I'm in, we're reading Ecclesiastes right now. I think we're on chapter 4. And I just happened to glance at it because it's open to that on my desk. And it says right in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, it says chapter 4. Chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "Again, I observed all the acts of oppression being done under the sun." So all of the oppression to being done to all the people on earth, everywhere, you know, and look at the tears of those who are oppressed. You know, they are hurt. They are feeling horrible, you know? They have no one to comfort them, right? Power is with those who oppress them. So the people who oppress them have the power. They have no one to comfort them. So, you know, the people in the power are the ones we're talking about here. They're the ones that can make the difference. They're the ones that can spread the love and spread the word and try to help these people who feel like they're helpless and feel like they're hopeless, feel like they have no hope at all. You know, one of the guys in my Bible study, he works with homeless people, and he, you know, helps them, buys them stuff, tries to get them into shelters and stuff. And he's got a fantastic idea that we want to start something where we have something during the day and we have a place. Like we actually have a physical location and a place where these people, these oppressed homeless people can go to instead of sitting by the train tracks and looking at the train tracks saying, should I just walk on the train track today and end it? Or they look at the liquor bottle sitting next to them and say, oh, I got to go get some more money from begging from people so I can go get my drunk on today, right? Let's try to get them into a place, into a physical location where, you know, maybe we have a TV in there. Maybe we have a Bible in there or a couple Bibles in there. Or maybe we have a shower in there where they can take a shower and feel human. You know, and maybe just have books and religious and spiritual things for them to read, to find God, to find Jesus. And maybe we run like a group, like we run our prayer groups. Maybe we have a prayer group with them once a week. I don't know what day, whatever, but maybe we do that with them there. This is like what we're talking about doing, because how can you help the oppressed people? But all this stuff costs money too. you know, and so you gotta get money. You gotta start like a nonprofit organization. You gotta file all the tax returns and learn how to do all that stuff and all that. But if there's a will, then God's gonna take care of it. So one way or another, it's gonna happen. I just don't know when or how yet. But that's kind of what we've been talking about, and it's like it's just such a need for that. And think about that. You could be helping homeless people, you could be solving the homelessness problem, getting these people rehabilitated, get these people something to do during the day. Maybe we start having people like employers saying, okay, we see what you're doing. Maybe they can go to get a job somewhere, and even though they're homeless, because they're able to come in and take a shower and clean themselves up a little bit, maybe shave or cut their hair or whatever. You know what I mean? Like little things you don't think about every day because you're not homeless. Like a haircut. It's like they'd rather get spend that money on food. That's more important. Food, they got to eat and they got to drink waters and stuff. So that's more important than a haircut. But what if we had people who could do haircuts for them that could come in, maybe once a month, and we got somebody to donate their time to come in once a month to cut their hair. That'd be something. So there's all these ideas and things out there that we have to put together, but it's through watching programs like this and documentaries like this that inspire people to do things and to spread the word, and to get out there and put the word out there. Another thing I'm doing is I'm writing that book. I already sent it into the publisher, and the whole point of the book is to bring more people to Christ. It's going to be called Are You Going to Heaven or Hell? And it walks you through the process. What are you doing to prove that you're worthy to go to heaven? Because it's not just, I just go to church, I'm a good person, I'm going to heaven. That's not the way it works. I mean, I'm not God, but I'm telling you, it's not the way it works. You got to earn it, man. Like, you better prove it. And you better take it seriously. And it can be done with little things, like they're doing this thing at my church. I kept seeing these ads on Facebook as I'm scrolling through, and it's like, send a Christmas gift to somebody in prison to their kid or something because they're in prison and they can't send their kid a Christmas gift or whatever. So it's like, and you always wonder, is this a scam or is this some legit thing or whatever? And you always think about that. I know I always do. It's like click here or whatever, and you don't want them stealing your credit card information, selling on the black market. Then you gotta get a new credit card and everything like that. But the thing is, the funny thing is I kept seeing this ad over and over again, and I'm in church this Sunday, and they got like 3 different programs. They got like one program for like international kids, so that's somewhere in the world. Maybe Africa or wherever, but you get like a shoebox and you just stuff it full of like kid stuff, like like soccer balls, a stuffed animal, crayons, coloring book, calculator, stuff like that. Stuff like that might be their only Christmas present they get is this box. So you try to stuff everything in there, And so they got that program. They got another program where you can scan and get hooked up with a person from our own, very own local Harford County, Maryland Detention Center. And you can be hooked up with a family member there and get hooked up with the guardian of the child whose person is incarcerated. And you can get a list of what they want and participate that way and get them something for Christmas too. And then they also have a local, instead of international, they have a local kid that you can participate in as well, and do the same type of thing with the shoebox, but it's called like Starbox or something. I don't know what they're doing, but my point is that, you know, there's things like that in the community that are available for you to do. But you know, and it's so easy to do them, but it's also so easy not to do them. And you know, they do these programs because it's something nice, especially for the kids who don't have what your kids have and who don't live the way your kids live or the way you live. And this is a way to give back, and it's a nice program to do. Um, so you know, I picked up a couple things. I got the box and the inmate program thing, and you know, I'm kind of working on that now. I actually went to the store this morning and got some stuff for the box. So and it's rewarding. You know, it's like you're walking around the store and it's like you're thinking, all right, well, if I was like a little kid, like what would I like to have? You know, and you can get it. You know, and you can buy it, and it's not like $3,000 or anything like that. You know, I mean, I think I got out of there under like $50, and if that, you know, maybe $40 or something. And but it's, you know, it's just the thought of doing it and taking it and spreading it. And it'd be nice if I could find a Bible small enough where I could drop it in there or something. I mean, if I had one of my books right now and it was published, I'd drop one of my books in there, you know, because who knows where that goes, you know what I mean? You don't know. But that's the whole point of this podcast, you know, is to bring people to Jesus. And that's why when I saw this documentary, I was like, the whole point of this documentary is to bring people to Jesus. So I'm like, I got to do something on this documentary because they got the same goal I do, which is to bring people to Jesus. And then Jesus can take it from there, you know? And it doesn't always have to be Bible verses. Some people are very intimidated by the Bible, and some people are intimidated. You know, like this guy, he would walk up to people and say, "Would you like me to pray for you?" Some people are like, I don't know about that. Like they're turned off by that. But not everybody is. You know, I was kind of humbled to see how many people took him up on it, and how many people were like, "Yeah, that's cool. You can pray for me." But he listened. You know, he listens to his intuition and his discernment, and God would speak to him, and God would tell him, you know, this person's coming that you want to talk to. You know, that's that voice in your head. You know, and when you get connected with God, man, you are connected, and He will tell you stuff like that. You know, He will tell you stuff. I mean, I was checking out in line at the store today at Walmart or whatever, and the woman in front of me had a shirt on, and it had a Bible verse on her shirt, and it was like Galatians. I can't remember I forgot to write it down, but it was Galatians something, and it was all about what I was doing in Walmart, which was helping other people. It was all about that, and how you experience peace and joy and kindness and all the great gifts of life that I was experiencing. It's like I know God put that woman right in front of me, and He had her wear that shirt today because she was going to be right in front of me. I was going to see it, and I was going to take a picture of it and have that Bible verse and have that message. When I got in the car, the first thing I did is Google the message, and it's see, that's the thing. Like these messages are out there; they're out there all the time, and you just have to open your eyes, and you just have to just mentally prepare yourself to witness this stuff because it happens in real life. God speaks to you. He does, through all kinds of different ways. Sometimes through music, sometimes through documentary programs like this one that we just watched. This is The One Who Hears, A Call to Obedience. And I'm going to put a link in the comments for the video to watch it, because it's so good, you know. But it just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, I've been rambling enough. I'm sure you're sick of seeing me today. So, say some prayers for yourself. Say some prayers that you can be a better Christian, and you want God to have you, help you and show you the way and show you how you can become a better Christian, and how you can help spread seeds like a seed spreader. Like you're mowing your lawn, you take the seed spreader out and seeds just spread everywhere. Seeds, that's what you want to be. You want to be that seed spreader. You want to be God's ultimate seed spreader. And he loves you so much, and that's what he wants all of us to do, each and every one of us to do. That's how we can show him that we appreciate everything he does for us. That's how we can show him, by bringing more people back to him, and then change, and then in turn that changes this entire world. That's the stuff people don't think about, is that by doing this, if everybody picks up their cross and everybody does what they need to do, this whole world transforms into another place. It turns into heaven on earth. But you got to have enough other people that buy into the message, that just pick up their cross and say, okay. And I'm telling you, now's the time. This is the time. We got major change in this country, and we got major things happening all across. I mean, you watch. Christian music's going to take off. It's going to take off. It already is, but it's going to get bigger once this musical industry starts, going boom, from this P. Diddy crap and all this crap music that we're listening to, with all these little demons out there selling all their garbage. That's the real garbage. People call it Trump garbage. No, that's the real garbage, is what's going on with music industry, and changing that. Man, we could have a whole new world out there. So it's just stuff to think about. It's food for thought. But thanks for taking time to watch this video. Love every one of you. God bless you. And hopefully you found some good stuff with this message. So talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.